Marsh highlighted to us earlier as a key to the game is that they need to be spaced on the floor so that way they can attack gaps, create advantages, and find open shooters on the outside. You haven't seen a lot of threes either because they haven't been able to attack those gaps and force rotations. Looking to see if Hailey Van Lith can get them going a little bit. She's a player that can get a piece of the paint and attack and then look to facilitate. But that's our role right now with Courtney Vandersloot out.
Allen, a long three, knocks it down, and Allen with 7 early points.
That spark off the bench. Ariel Atkins says the bench has been phenomenal for Chicago this season. One of the main reasons, the veteran leadership of Beck Allen, Rachel Banham, Elizabeth Williams, the unit you're seeing right now on the floor.
Allen was just 2 for her last 12 in her 3 previous games against Indiana from beyond the arc. Pull fading away, rims out, another rebound for Reese. This time rips it away and draws the foul on Dantas. Well, for an update on Courtney Vandersloot, we send it down to Tiffany.
Guys, we saw her go down with the right knee injury. Couldn't put any weight on it as she was helped off the court. She is out for the rest of this game dealing with that knee injury.
Yeah, thanks, Tiffany. Just a really difficult loss on the floor, and the leadership and the presence for Chicago. And now the Sky have to rally, facing some adversity here.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to play without a 15-year veteran point guard in Courtney Vandersloot, and you're seeing it right here. Sydney Colson picks the pocket of Van Lith.
Colson, patient, Hull streaking down the floor, flips a pass, nice catch by Bonner. Bonner weaves her way to the cup, can't get it. Beck Allen with the board. Allen kicks it down low. Williams fighting through traffic, can't get it. Ball is tied up, and we'll have a jump ball. Well, let's test your knowledge with tonight's athletic.
That's because the answer is one of my favorite competitors of all time.
There's no hesitation as well, too. Just confident as the tip is won by the Sky. Rachel Banham back on the floor. That pass deflected, trying to get it to Reese. Howard running the break, and a little miscommunication there with Bonner.
Yeah. It didn't seem like Bonner was even looking for the basketball there. Howard maybe just needed to probe a bit, give it a second, and then make a decision.
And a reminder that Austin Kelly filling in as the interim coach tonight. Stephanie White out for personal reasons. Kelly been an assistant with White at Connecticut over the last couple of years. Brings plenty of experience onto the floor, but Indiana trying to do it without Caitlin Clark. Sophie Cunningham and their head coach as Van Lith can't get the lay-in. Colson running ahead, nearly loses the dribble. Ball curling, stepping, 1-2, tough take, and picks up the foul.
Such a tough bucket here.
For one free throw. And Hull had all 14 of her points last game in the second half and has been relied upon for so much on both ends of the floor as she adds some tip to the bill. And for more on Coach Kelly and this opportunity tonight, Tiffany, what do you got for us?
Yeah, guys, we got to talk with Lexi Hull about this, and she said that they have so much faith in our coaches that she said any one of them could lead this team, that they all contribute day in and day out, and that's why they put them in position to be able to handle this without Coach Stephanie White here with them, but they know they are in good hands.
Yeah, thank you, Tiffany. And you felt during the shoot-around things were very loose and relaxed with the squad. Obviously, a lot of pressure with the absences, and this being a huge stage tonight for the Fever. And, you know, you go to the other side of things for Chicago, and they deal with the injury to Vandersloot early on. But Beck Allen, how sensational she's been in the early going.
Man, she's so good. Just a tremendous, versatile player. She doesn't just shoot the three, doesn't just shoot the mid-range, but also can get to the paint. And just a good decision maker, which is really what Chicago needs. Tell you what else they need, Ariel Atkins to find it.
Atkins now 0 for 5. Howard galloping down the floor, can't get it. Steps out of bounds and still has a foot on the baseline as she touches the rock.
And immediately Austin Kelly looks to Sydney Colson and gives her a good head nod.
But the opportunities have been there in transition for the Fever, and you see that they are looking to step on the gas just a little bit more. For Chicago, it comes down to the half-court execution right now. Struggling to find some good looks as Williams, though, this time, tough take, rewarded with the foul.
I love that. Elizabeth Williams is a great roller. She keeps her eyes on the ball, has very good hands. And when Ariel Atkins may be struggling to find her own shot, that is where she can pick it up a bit in facilitating and finding some easier offense, easier looks.
Second foul on Natasha Howard. Well, live CBS tomorrow. It's Broadway's biggest night, and CBS is your front row seats. Cynthia Erivo hosts the Tony Awards live tomorrow at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus. Right now, the biggest show in town here is this game between Indiana and Chicago. First ever WNBA game at the United Center, the largest arena in the country. People were wondering, what was the crowd going to be without Caitlin Clark playing? They did not disappoint here so far.
Yeah, it's a packed house. I can take off my jacket. Got hot here quickly.
Howard, bother down low. Doesn't affect her. She gets the lefty hook.
And so tough. Tasha Howard, great at finishing with both hands. She has such a soft touch.
Chicago now just 6 of 18 from the field. Reese getting to the block, picks up the dribble. Williams comes over. Reese trying to repost. To your point,
spacing.
A lot of congestion right now, and a timeout Chicago, because I feel Tyler Marsh feels the same way. So the Sky.
Man, Tamika Catchings. It was good times watching her hoop.
What made her such a great defender?
Oh, she's like tenacious, athletic. She anticipates well. Good bucket there from Elizabeth Williams. She's providing a much-needed spark off the bench as well.
Williams now with 4 points. Tenacious and athletic on that finish as well. And now Indiana in this offense, they've got 9 assists already in this first half. That's what they talked about, sharing the ball more.
Chicago right now offensively. I'm attacking Lexi Hull. She's got 2 fouls.
Bonner at the free throw line. Shot clock winding down, and Indiana did not have that sense of urgency that they needed. That's a turnover right back to the Sky.
Did Aaliyah Boston get a touch on that possession?
I don't believe so. And Boston, to your point, just 1 shot attempt. Nearly 15 minutes into this game now. That's going to be a foul off the ball. Bonner chasing Allen. So Allen continues to produce off the bench. And to your point, though, and we talked to Austin Kelly. He said, we've got to get the ball to Aaliyah Boston more often. She had the first bucket of the game, has not shot it since then.
And for those tuning in, she normally gets 60, maybe 70% of her buckets off her and Caitlin Clark action, off just a 2-man game, a short roll, or getting to the basket. So without Caitlin Clark on the court right now, it seems like there's no one that's intentionally trying to make sure that AB is involved in getting a touch.
Mitchell short on the 3. Howard the offensive rebound, recoups it for the Fever. Howard trying to muscle it down low, lowers the shoulder, popcorns in for 2 more.
Howard just being bigger than Beck Allen. Nice finish in the paint.
Howard now 6 points, 3 rebounds, and the veteran has come up huge at different times this season for the Fever. Had a 26-point outing on the road against Atlanta, and that win for Indiana. Banham, long 3, she can connect, misses it. Bull rips down another one. Colston accelerating forward, dumps it off to Hull. Out a chance for the trailing 3. So whistle on the floor, a foul against Chicago. But it all comes down to this. See Tom Cruise's Ethan Hunt and Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning now playing only in theaters. It's the 20th season for the Chicago Sky. I feel like Tom Cruise has been doing his thing longer than that with Mission Impossible.
No, seriously.
That foul was on Elizabeth Williams. So Williams now with just 1 personal. Here's Boston. Let's see if she can be a little bit more aggressive. Going against her former teammate, and that's going to be a travel. So now Boston with more turnovers than shot attempts here in the first half. Doso for not getting knocked back with that contact. A lot of physicality down low. Atkins also scoreless so far. And Reese rips down the rebound, pivoting Reese off the glass. A crucial 2 points for Chicago.
Beautiful patience by Angel Reese. You know she's going to grab the offensive board, but then the footwork and the physicality to find an angle and score around Natasha Howard, and that is a travel.
4 points, 4 boards for Reese, and back-to-back turnovers for the Fever.
Angel Reese.
So tough to stop when she gathers and gets on balance.
When she's under control, and I think that's what she's been working on a lot. At least that's what I've seen from the games so far this season, is that when she's under control and set, she's good, and she's a good finisher.
Reese trying to get on balance, poked away by Mitchell. Some quick hands to interrupt the play. And now Boston rolling all the way down the floor, nearly goes coast to coast, gets her own miss. Fever working around, McDonald to Mitchell, spots up for three. No good, rebound to Reese. Nurse up ahead, had Cardoso down low, missed the window.
She was wide open. Got to keep your head up. And that's that pace and ball movement that Tyler Marsh is talking about. Not so much ball movement, the ball going side to side, but the pace at which this team is passing the ball, he's emphasizing.
This set is slow to develop. Shot clock winding down. Cardoso has to put it up. The miss, and that's going to be a shot clock violation. And you saw Reese, a little miscommunication, beating the brakes off of Las Vegas early.
Man, gave it to the Aces.
And Becky Hammond admitted as well, too. They said, we took a thumping.
And obviously, you know, that's a bit of a personal game for someone like Kate Martin, who played for the Aces. Obviously, head coach Natalie Nakase, who was an assistant coach under Becky Hammond. So that meant a little something.
Golden State 3-4, the expansion Valkyries. An impressive start for them. And second foul on Banham. She checks out. Van Lith steps back onto the floor. Howard, Hull, Boston, Mitchell, and McDonald on the court for the Fever. McDonald with 6 points, flips it over to Boston. The pump fake. Defense collapses. Howard for two. Fundamental for the Fever.
Natasha Howard has made a living in this league moving without the basketball, specifically that 45 cut.
Atkins fading away. Tough shooting night continues for her. Reese gathers it. Reese can't get it. Bopped away by Mitchell. And this time she's looking to go by the Sky defense. Boston works it around. Hull thought about the three for a moment. Now a little bit of traffic near the corner. Boston trying to be a safety valve. 8 to shoot. Boston this time working against Reese. Pivots, puts it up. And one opportunity. Aaliyah Boston clearing out all the traffic. So Indiana, 11-point lead. Second foul on Angel Reese, and the Fever.
To the paint, all the defense collapse, and Howard just makes basketball.
Boston, the old-fashioned three-point play, and now a 12-point advantage for Indiana. Keep in mind, Indiana had a 35-point victory to start the season against Chicago. In that game, the Sky shot their lowest field goal percentage of the season, and tonight they're just sitting at 31% from the field. Cardoso trying to change that. Cardoso muscles in the two.
Cardoso at 6'7", just has the size to be able to score over Aaliyah Boston.
She's 2 of 4 with 6 points. Here's Mitchell off the handoff. Pass inside, and they must have gotten the memo from you, Ice. They're starting to feed Aaliyah Boston a lot more. She picks up another foul.
Got to. You need to get high percentage looks. Really
foul is on Cardoso.
And I really loved what, you know, Kelsey Mitchell talked about. I actually asked Kelsey Mitchell how she felt like AB and her could connect more, and she said we got to be in the trenches.
Stream CBS Sports HQ, your free 24/7 snapshot of all the sports that matter to you. Catch highlights, in-depth analysis, and breaking news anywhere you are. Download the CBS Sports app to watch today. It's such a good point you bring up, Ice, because without Caitlin Clark on the court, Sophie Cunningham, also a very vocal leadership voice for the Fever. It's up to Mitchell. It's up to Boston to really rally this team right now.
I mean, they're the experienced squad. They play a ton of minutes. And in terms of a guard and post combination as well, they work hard together, but that was a much-needed bucket. Kia Nurse from the outside.
Trims the lead to 8. Nurse has been sensational from beyond the arc. Now 9 for her last 20 in the last 4 games. Van Lith defending up top, tries to work around the screen. McDonald flips it over, ball moving, Hull in the corner. Oh, the passing is contagious for the Fever.
Those click passes, and it starts with Ari McDonald on the point guard position, creating the advantage, and then the next click pass. Lexi Hull, man, she's just been playing great basketball for the Fever this season.
Hull now with 6 points, has played 18 minutes here in the early going. McDonald pokes it away. 2-on-1 opportunity. Mitchell elevates, can't get it. Dot is right there on the rebound and picks up the foul. She cleans up the offensive glass. Dantas, in her 10th WNBA season from Brazil, was named to the Brazilian national team for the 2025 FIBA America Cup in late June, and Talk about another player that's just a veteran on this roster. A lot of offseason acquisitions for the Fever to bring in experience as this team has improved by leaps and bounds in just the last couple of seasons.
Now, there's so much potential surrounding this roster, and scary when you're going to get everyone that's healthy and the chemistry is blended well together. But back to your point about Dantas, one of the great things about her game is that she stretches the floor. She adds to the three-point shooting of the Fever, which makes them so dangerous.
So a foul against Nurse as she was driving to the cup. They're going to whistle her for the offensive foul, trying to create some separation that gives the ball back to Indiana with 19.2. Here's one more look here, Ice. Ball foul, not an offensive foul, so free throws coming for Indiana because they're in the bonus. As Boston calmly hits the first one. And really it felt like for Indiana, as soon as they started feeding Boston a lot more, open things up in the half court for them as she splits a pair.
Well, she's also going to create an advantage simply because they're sending multiple players at her. It's rare that Aaliyah Boston is one-on-one on the block.
Atkins still scoreless. Chicago can hold for the final shot of the half. Atkins, step through, gets her first bucket of the game at a much-needed time. 3.5 left. Mitchell screaming down the floor, a collision with Atkins, and let's see how they whistle this, because Mitchell and Atkins both a little slow to get up, but
A shot up, not sure, but she draws the foul.
Mitchell skims that first one off the rim. 7 of the 8 players for the Fever that have played in this game have scored so far. So the depth certainly flexing its muscle as Mitchell, sitting on 8 points, tries to add one more and extend this lead to 13. And for point 3, you imagine Chicago will just inbound it. And so Indiana with 11.